I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Generation 2 Dreadwing and Smokescreen, and I love this toy. Originally released back in 1994, it retailed for approximately $30, and this is a figure that I've been aware of for quite some time, but have never had the pleasure of experiencing for myself. So I was very pleasantly surprised when I found it at my local toy store here very recently for an extremely good price. Mostly complete. It was just missing a couple of the missiles. It did come with some of the missiles, but it was missing a couple of them. I easily found those on eBay and got him complete, and I'm very happy to bring this guy here to you today because this has to be one of the most interesting Transformers that I have handled in a very long time. You get a lot of stuff here. So we got a very cool vehicle mode here, but here's what you're getting with this. You're getting two vehicles. You're getting a combiner. You're getting a triple changer, and you're getting two robots. So you get a lot of playability out of this figure right here. Lots of fun to be had. So starting off right here with I'm going to call this the main or the combined vehicle mode. It's a stealth bomber, as you can see. Very cool. I absolutely love how it's done in that dark blue, and then it's kind of that little bit of a teal with a black camo going along the wings right there. It's absolutely massive. This is approximately 4 inches tall, about 7 inches long from front to back, and it's got a massive wingspan of about 12 inches. This guy is a really, really good size. There is one downfall to the gimmick right here, which I'm going to show you in a bit, so that's kind of why I'm holding these missiles here in place. But there you go. So you can see you got a cockpit here, then you got another cockpit midway back. You can kind of start to see the combined form right there. Really, really neat. You got a massive giant Gatling gun down here that does launch these missiles. We got some landing gear down here, and those do roll. And I've already kind of spoiled the gimmick right there. Coming around the back, you got some thrusters there. Very, very neat. There's a couple of things that we can do here. So we've got, as you can see, this guy is loaded to the teeth. We've got this big giant missile launcher down here. We've also got missiles along the wings. So you'll notice these spots here on the wings. When you press on these are just kind of slotted in right there. So if you press on these little red pieces here on the top, it'll drop the missile. So as you fly around, you can just drop those missiles just like that, which is really neat. And I am going to go ahead and just kind of drop all of these out because they do stay there rather well, but while you're transforming them, they can have a tendency to pop out. Kind of like that spring-loaded mechanism is just kind of not working for me right now. The Gatling gun down here works in both the jet mode and in the other mode. And now this guy just does not want to stay in place for me. I don't know why. There we go. So you got this Gatling gun down here. And the way this works, we can also move the landing gear up. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And the way this Gatling missile launcher gun of doom here works is you've got a dial right here. So as you rotate this dial, it will actually start to launch those missiles. And it goes around and it launches all of them. I'm trying to do that on camera while also not losing them. Now, the only real drawback here, this is what I was getting to earlier, is that they don't lock in place, right? They're just kind of sitting there. So as you're playing around with it, if you tip it forward, they are going to fall out. That's just the way that is going to work. So we'll go ahead and gather all these missiles up and set them off to the side. So it works well. It's just a kind of a shame that the missiles don't lock into the launcher itself, because as you're flying this thing around, if you do that, they are going to fall. So it does work a little better in his next mode, which I'm going to show you now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to separate these two. So you want to start by of course, I get him in front of the camera. He's going to do all that to me. You want to push up the landing gear, which we've just done. And then you want to take these wing tips right here and fold these up. And this is supposed to be the automated or the self-transforming automorph kind of part. Obviously, age has taken its toll on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach back here on this part of the jet. We're going to push down and pull out to separate these. That is supposed to make those launch up just like that, or rather flip up just like that. And here is smokescreen right here. And we'll go ahead and mine does have an issue with this ball joint right here. I've had figures in the past that'll have that one ball joint that whatever you do does not want to stay in place. I have that problem with this figure. Doesn't seem to be a common problem across the board. Every once in a while, I'll get a figure with a ball joint that just does not want to stay, and this is one such figure. So you got a little jet fighter right here. We've also got some missiles here, and these are on launchers, and those are going to launch as well. So 14 missiles is what this guy comes with. So if you're looking for this guy, that's how many missiles you want to have. 14 for this guy, or well, for the whole set right here. Now this guy also has landing gear, so we'll go ahead and pull these out. We got 2 on the back, and we got the 1 on the front right there, and that'll allow him to sit on the ground, and we'll go ahead and set him off to the side for the moment. Let's finish with this guy right here. So like I said, this guy is a triple changer, so we're going to reach back here, and we are going to hit that little black lever right there. Just push that in. That's going to flip out this tank tread, and then you're just going to lock it in place. Same thing back here. We'll push on that little button. That's going to flip the tank tread. It's supposed to release and flip the tank tread. Lock that in place right there. We're going to come around the back or the bottom here. We're going to take this giant Gatling gun. We're going to bring it up and all the way to the back. And then we're going to rotate this around. Actually, we're not going to rotate that around. We're just going to bring it up and over all the way. Rotate it around this way. And just bring it up here. And now we have a little tank mode right there. We do have little wheels down here. So the landing gear, these are working. And now we also have these new little wheels right here. So this actually is a rolling tank, and we can go ahead and load this guy up, and you can put missiles here on the side. This is where they were loaded or mounted for the bomber mode, so you can go ahead and remount these. And like I said, they tend to stick pretty well. It's mostly for the jet mode. I have found whenever if I pick them up and I'm kind of flying them around, it does have a tendency to kind of drop. See what I mean? So when you're messing around with it, they're going to drop off. So we're going to skip on that. They can be mounted to the side there. Obviously, he doesn't want to work for me on camera right now, so we're just going to skip that. I'm not going to make you watch me stumbling around with a figure for that long. But here we go. We are going to load this one up. And this mode actually works a little better for the gun because it is a tank. You can actually tilt it up some. Instead of having it pointed down like that, you can actually tilt it up, and that helps to kind of keep the missiles there in place. So now we have ourselves 2 vehicles. How cool is this? We have ourselves a tank, and we have ourselves a jet, which is really neat. I know I said I wasn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try and put these on here. I really want you to get the full effect of what this guy looks like when he's all armed up, because it just looks so cool when he's just loaded up with missiles. So we are going to give it one more try. Let's see if they stay. They tend to stay for the most part, but every once in a while you get 1 or 2 of the missiles that just don't want to play. You see that? See what I mean right there? Every once in a while, just get that one that doesn't want to play. There you go. So there's the tank, fully armed up and loaded, and here's our other jet. So this is Dreadwing, this is Smokescreen right here. Let's take a closer look at Smokescreen's jet mode. Very cool. Also done in that dark blue with the teal and black highlights. Love the stickers with the G2 logos right there on the back tail fins right there. On the stabilizers going all the way around. Very, very cool vehicle right there. So we have ourselves one big combiner mode vehicle, or we got ourselves 2 separate vehicles. And here's the thing, if you don't like the tank, you can transform this back to the bomber and then just have 2 jets. The bomber does not depend on Smokescreen being combined to look good. So either way, it's going to look really good. You can flip the wings down and they will lock in place, and they will actually stay in place better with when Smokescreen's not in them. So yeah, you can have 2 jets, or you can have a tank and a jet, which is really, really neat. So here we are. Let's do the Gatling gun one more time. And again, you just turn this dial right here, and that's just going to start launching those all over the place. which is really cool. It works really, really well. Let's go ahead and pop this guy back in place there. And we'll get into transformation. I don't know why this one, I cannot get the missiles to just kind of sit in there properly. You know what? I'm done with that. I've had it. I've had it. Let's get rid of it. All right, we're going to get rid of them. Let's get into transformation. So we'll start with smokescreen right here. And what you want to do with smokescreen, first things is we're going to separate these launchers. These are going to become the guns for the robot mode. And usually, most of the time I see smokescreen here having both of these. What I like to do is I like to give one to smokescreen and one to Dreadwing. Just kind of split things up a little bit. But there you go. This is the jet mode. We'll push the landing gear in. And so you can kind of see what the jet mode looks like without the launchers. It's pretty slick. Very slick transformation on this guy as well. So you're going to start right here with the legs. There is a peg and a port, and it does not do a good job of holding them in place. It just kind of shows you where they're supposed to go, and that's about it. They don't really like peg into place. They come off very, very easily, at least for me they do. But if they're pegged in well, just unpeg those and kind of just bring the legs down a bit. Let's see if we can get that ball joint to stick. Reach for the thrusters and separate these to form the feet. And then this is all kind of gonna split here. It looks like a transformation that you know, but it's got extra steps, which is really, really cool. Let's go back here to the back of the jet, fold the stabilizers down, and then these pieces are going to, you got to work these around each other. So you're going to bring that flap down and then bring the arm out. Once you've done that, we're going to flip that stabilizer back the other way, and you can see one of his fists right there. And then the other arm will be easier to work with because the first one is now out of the way. So we'll get that out, flip the stabilizer, and there are his arms right there. All right, we're going to work on this back here, and this gets interesting because there is a rotation that we need to do, and there's a flip that we need to do, and it can be a little scary, at least on this one. So we're going to bring that hinge down like that. And then this whole front section here, along with the legs, this needs to rotate like that. Once you've done that, you should be able to bring this down. There's a double hinge, so there's a hinge here and a hinge on the back here. And this back hinge is scary. So you heard that snap there. Bringing it back to jet mode and doing that was scary. The first couple of times I didn't even want to do it. I thought I was going to break it. It's just very, very scary. Bring the legs the rest of the way forward onto the nose of the jet. Straighten out the legs. And then close everything up. There are two tabs here that are going to go into these slots here. Nope, not yet. We're going to take the back wings along with the arms here. These are also going to rotate that way. Now we can bring the whole jet back and tab it into place. Bring the arms down. And this is Smokescreen in his robot mode, looking really cool. Bringing him in close. Love that head sculpt on Smokescreen, and I love that light piping. Check that out. Very, very cool. Really neat little jet. I would say it's like your standard G2 jet, like that mid to late 90s, early 2000s, kind of like that basic class jet. I kind of almost, at first I thought, yeah, that's kind of what he is. But then when you see the transformation and the extra folds and spins and turns that the transformation has, it makes him a little more complex. Very, very interesting figure. Absolutely love this guy. Let's see how tall he stands. He is approximately 5.5 inches tall. And you can give him both, but I'm only going to give him one of these. These will pop right in his hands right there. And there you go. There's Smokescreen right there ready for battle. I guess we'll do articulation on him real quick. Kind of weird when you're doing two figures at once and you kind of lose track of the order of things. So the head can turn side to side. And again, I'm just going to bring that in close. Look at that head sculpt. Absolutely love that head sculpt. So the head can turn from side to side. Shoulders can rotate forward and backwards. Now you're not going to be able to get all the way around because of the wing being back here. The shoulders can also go in and out. You have a rotation at the bicep and you have a full bend at the elbow. No rotation at the waist. We kind of lost that when we clipped it in place. Ball jointed hips, so we can kick forward, backwards. We can go in and out. We can rotate a little bit. Do we have a bend at the knee? We do not have a bend at the knee. It bends inwards a little bit. That's more for transformation than anything else. So it's kind of a shame. You can kind of use that inward bend for posing, as you can see, but it doesn't properly bend forward and backwards, which is a shame. And then of course the feet can kind of open and close some. So there is articulation for Smokescreen. We'll give him that gun, and I'll shoot myself and lose the missile off camera somewhere. Just pop that back in there. We got plenty of missiles, so that is one thing this figure is not lacking. Got 14 missiles for this guy. And there's Smokescreen, and we'll set him off to the back right here. And we'll start on Dreadwing right here. In the Japanese Beast Wars 2, which is where I actually became familiar with these characters, they were BB and Starscream is what they were. And so I've been trying really hard not to slip into calling him BB and Starscream. But there you go. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take these tank treads and we're going to flip these back and clip them into place. We're going to reach down here to the bottom. We're going to unclip the legs. They are pegged in right there. There's a peg and a port. And we can go ahead and straighten that out. And we're going to rotate here. We're not ready for that just yet. We're going to leave them there. Reach down here and flip out the toe. This is one of those figures where you kind of have to do half of a step, go to the other side, do half of another step, come back, finish the first step, then go back and finish the second step. It's one of those transformations. So we'll bring the leg all the way down, but we're going to leave them out like that and extend the toes right there. Just kind of leave these out here. All right, so we need to move the wings out of the way here for the moment. I don't mean to lock them out, so now I'm kind of stuck here. Anyway, so we wanted to move the wings out of the way. Don't clip them back into place. We want to unpeg the arms right here and just kind of bring these up, all the way up like so. That'll allow us to move the nose cone down and out of the way. You might notice that the sticker here kind of has a little bit of a rub. It's unfortunate because of its location right here. There's a little panel here that we need to move up and out of the way. And so you'll remember when I was transforming him into tank mode the first time, I rotated down here at the base instead of rotating up here. So now we want to rotate at the base. We're going to bring that all the way in, just like that. Rotate this cannon and bring it all the way up and out of the way. Once it's up here, you can close that panel back up again. Now that we've done that, we can come back down here to the bottom and bring the legs all the way in. There is a little port and a peg right there. So go ahead and push these in and peg them into place, and that's going to get the legs all done. We can now bring the head of the robot out. You want to do this, again, halfway through the transformation. You don't want to bring it down all the way. When you're here at this halfway point, that's when we push the head of the robot out. And now we can bring the nose cone all the way down. Take the arms, we're going to bring these out. And then we're going to rotate these around. We're going to push these little clips right here, and that is going to let us bring these little covers out. That's going to reveal the fists. And then just kind of straighten out the arms. So again, just kind of push these out to reveal the arm. That's going to clip into place. And again, we're going to just bring this all the way out at the shoulder and just kind of straighten out the arms. Let's see. I like to rotate them around so that the screws are not showing. There we go. And there is, I almost said BB, there is Dreadwing in his robot mode. And as you can see, this guy is an absolute bruiser. Here in robot mode, Dreadwing stands approximately 6.5 inches tall at the top of the head, 8 if you go to the top of the cannon up here. And again, if you wanted to, I'm not going to, but you could put the, well, I will when I put them on the shelf, but you could put you could put the missiles there. You can, of course, load up his giant Gatling gun right here, which also works in this mode. So that's really cool that you can use the gimmick in all 3 of his modes: jet mode, tank mode, and in robot mode. absolute bruiser beast of a robot right there. And again, you know, you got to do is turn that dial. Let's see if I can do it over here. And of course, I'm shooting downward, so they're not going to shoot up with. Let's just point it up. There you go. And I just got to get around. Oh, come on, where is it? There it goes. It didn't shoot it out. So it's got a little like popping mechanism that goes around, and that's how that works. That's pretty neat. Let's see, where were we? Articulation. So the head can turn side to side. The shoulders can go forward and backwards, in and out. They are on a universal joint. You got rotation right above the elbow. You got bend at the elbow. Legs can go forward. They can go back. They can go in and out. The knees can bend, and the toes can point. Going all the way around, taking a look at this guy. So you can see he's absolutely massive. Love the way this guy looks. And again, that head sculpt is really, really neat, with really awesome light piping. Absolutely gorgeous bruiser of a figure right here. Absolutely love the way this guy looks. Go ahead and pop some of these back in here. And like I said, we can also give him one of the other weapons. So with the weapons that came off a Smokescreen, you can either give them both to Smokescreen. But what I like to do is I like to give one to Smokescreen and one to BB, or one to Dreadwing. I told you, I knew I was going to do it. One to Smokescreen, one to Dreadwing, right there. And there's the two of them together, ready for battle. So you can see what the two of them look like together. These guys are absolutely awesome. Again, this is just one of those figures that I've been aware of it. I watched Beast Wars 2nd years ago, and I knew of this figure. I knew about it in G2, and there's been a couple of repaints for this figure. Never had the pleasure of owning one or experiencing one myself. Saw it at the toy show, and it was only missing a couple of the missiles, and it was an amazing price. I got it, no questions asked, right there on the spot, picked it up. And I'm really glad I did, because I was not aware. Like I said, I was aware of the figure, but I didn't realize how many play options this figure has. Again, you get a large jet, a combined mode. You get a triple changer. You get two vehicles, and you get two robots all in one. You have a lot of playability. And of course, you got the weapons that you can, move from one to the other. You got the gimmick on the Gatling gun is just so cool. Again, I only wish they would clip into place so they wouldn't fall. Maybe that would help them fire a little better sometimes when you're launching, trying to fire them at a downward angle. But other than that, it's such a cool, fun figure to have. Let's have that pointing down like that. Kind of get him standing there. Couple of comparisons. Here they are with G2 Combat Hero Megatron. I wanted to bring this guy out because the original G2 Megatron is just so massive. And this one just scales so well with these guys. He's a little bigger than Megatron, which he should be for the type of vehicle that he is and what he's meant to be, which is just a big bad bruiser. He should be a little bigger. And then, of course, you've got Smokescreen down here, which is a little smaller. And I just find the scale of this to work really, really well. So you can see what the three of them look like together. And of course, always have him here in case I get a clog in my 3D printer. Here is Generation 1 Optimus Prime, who was holding one of my missiles. Look at that. All right, we'll set that up so you can see what the three of them look like together. And again, very nice scale. Again, I think all four of these scale really, really well together, which is really neat. This guy has been on my desk for about 2 weeks, and I just keep playing and messing with him and just fiddling with him. He has been such a fun figure, and I know that I am asking for it, but I am going to do this one more time just for the final shot. I'm going to try and pop these. I'm not. No, I'm not. My OCD is getting the better of me. You don't need to see that. So here they are. One last time. Guys, this is an amazing figure. If you come across this figure at a good price, absolutely get it. So you got the two figures, you got the two launchers, and 14 missiles. That's what you're looking for. Like I said, this one only had the 6 up here. I was 8 missiles short. I easily found them on eBay, replaced them. There you go. Again, so much fun to be had with this figure. A giant combiner vehicle mode, 2 separate vehicle modes, a triple changer, and 2 separate robots. You cannot go wrong with that combination right there. There's just so much fun to be had with this. So if you find it, this is a fantastic addition to any Transformers collection. And I think that about does it for the Transformers Generation 2 Dreadwing with Smokescreen. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe, share with your friends if you like what you see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.